Hello and thank you for clicking on this video. If you're new here, my name's Jenny from In My Spare Time Crochet. I love all things crochet and yarn. I have popped in a few teasers a couple of days ago about a new CAL that is going to be happening. It is kicking off today. It is the brainchild of Tracy from Travel Crochet, and I can't wait to tell you a little bit more about it at the end of the video. But for now, I'm going to start with a little bit of footage from yesterday because I needed to show you some things before I headed down to the collective where I sell my items. And then I'll pop back in and I will show you what else I made. Hello. Here is my little check-in before I do my little Saturday duck in to the collective. Now, I don't need to take everything that I've made for the week or, you know, over the last week to 2 weeks because we have had absolute rubbish weather for just about the last week. It's been really, really wet and cold. So the shop probably hasn't been very busy at all. So I don't need to take everything in, but I am going to do a couple of, I guess, refills, if you like. But that's good anyway. It's good that I can start to stock up a few things for when it's a bit busier later in the year. But here we go. You saw it anyway. This guy. Look at this guy. This is the Crochet Grove pattern. I think I made this one on Monday. I was fresh off the Crochet Grove Brontosaurus pattern, which if you saw last week's video, I wasn't sure if I was going to do it again. It was really, really adorable, but I just don't know. I felt like it took me too long. Now, the feet have, you do it in the third back loop, and I mentioned last week that it gives it a little bit of a spiraled look, which I just didn't quite like. So this time I did do the third back loop, but instead of going just straight into the third back loop, I went through all 3 loops, if that makes sense. So I went through the front and back, so the one that looks like a V, I went through that, and then I also went through the third back loop just for that very first stitch, and it just makes the transition, I suppose, less harsh and doesn't give me the same spiraled look that I had before. Now, I really, really like this pattern. The longest part was obviously all of the color changes. There are a lot of color changes. So, and I was tying off each time, so that really slowed me down. I would even consider next time just making it all in yellow for the body, and then maybe just doing a few brown patches and then just hand sewing them on. To be honest, I think I will contemplate doing that next time just to save a bit of time. But I'm interested to see how he goes down there. But great pattern. I really love how it worked up. This yarn is Paddy's Plush. Now, I was going to look up the colours beforehand, and of course I forgot. So the brown, I'm pretty sure the brown is Bandicoot, and the yellow, I'm not too sure. I'll pop it on the screen, but it worked up a treat. The colours look good together, and again I've done the yarn under, yarn over, and it does give a really nice stitch definition, I have to say. I'd be interested to see how much bigger he would have turned out if I did my usual yarn over. But anyway, I'm pretty darn happy with him, I have to say. So he is going down today. He'll be just a bit of a statement item, if you know what I mean. Now I had already shown these, I think. Did I? Oh my gosh, I'm losing it. I'm pretty sure I have shown these, but I've done, yep, 2 more drift because they just sell really well. I'm putting my eyes in the wrong place. I realized they should be out to the side more, but I will rectify that the next time I make this pattern, which will be very soon. So that's the Crochet Carpenter pattern, as we all know. Now, we've also got these 2 elephants that I showed last week. This is a free pattern on Instagram by nooks_hooks. I really love how they worked up. I'm actually going to make these in some different colors. I think I'm going to make maybe a pink one, a blue one, and maybe one in one of the Aldi variegated yarns, because anything in that kind of yarn sells really well down at the collective. So those 2. And I did one more of the Porgy's Place little cats and cat bed to go with the one that I'd done the previous week. So I'm going to take those in as well. They just seem to do really well down there. And then the other thing I'm taking in is 6 plush key rings. So I've got 2 frogs. This is the Pocket Frog Lachrome pattern, free pattern on Instagram. I've done 2 strawberries. Strawberries do really, really well. Now, the first time I made a strawberry plush key ring, I used a different free pattern. I think I used the Crochet by Met pattern. And I had also had this one saved, so I thought I would try this one, and I like this one better. So this is 100% going to be my go-to pattern for strawberries. And I will have I think it's a collaboration, this one. I'll have the pattern designers on the screen, and I will always have the patterns linked below. I've heard a lot of people say that they don't link the Instagram free patterns, they just link the designer, because sometimes the links don't work. So the designers will usually have their free patterns either pinned to the top of their feed, or they will have in their highlights, they'll have a little highlight that says free patterns, and you can usually find them that way. So 2 strawberries, and finally this morning I just did 2 bees, and they turned out really well. So this is just the All From Jade free pattern. I think next time I'll even take 1 round off those. I don't think they need to be quite so big for a keychain. But yeah, they turned out really well as well. And the keychains are something that are also doing quite well down there. So that is the small little update that I'm about to do before they close. And the one other thing is my baby blanket that you will have seen recently. It's just my gender neutral confetti cake blanket. It has been washed and blocked, and it's really nice and soft, and yeah, I think that one will hopefully find its forever home via the collective. And I'm going to swap that out with, I had a large grey throw, one of my Into the Desert blankets, that's my pattern, and I think just as it's there were people definitely interested, but not necessarily in that colour. So I'm going to just switch that out. I'm going to bring that home because it's, you know, it's not going to be very cold for much longer. So I'm going to switch that out because I don't have many available product codes actually. So that is what I'm going to do. And the other thing I just thought I'd mention quickly is that I've been tagging my little items here with these things that I just did myself in Canva that I showed recently. We've got a little safety eye warning. That's just my little tag, I suppose, where I put the product code and the price. And then I've just been adding a little, and this is just on cardstock, one of my little logos, so that it goes home with them. Yeah, so that's working quite well actually. Really cost-effective way to do things, I'm finding. So that's the update for today, and then yeah, I'll see you either this afternoon or tomorrow when I'm doing the rest of this video. So I did pop into the collective and dropped in those items that I showed you, and I think as expected it was definitely a little bit of a slower week, although Emily said I still did okay, which is fine. And I do know that I sold 3 items yesterday alone, so that's fantastic. It's just keeping everything rolling over. I have my invoice for the next 6 months, but I am waiting on getting my most recent payments before I do that. So, and there will be, I'm going to have, as I've mentioned before, I'm going to dedicate a video to my first 6 months selling at a local collective and just chat all things about how much it's cost me, what I've brought in, you know, what's been good, what hasn't been so good. But yeah, we'll chat about that in another video. Now, let me show you what else I have made this week. I feel good. I feel quite productive. So I had the items obviously that I've already showed you, and some of them obviously I had finished prior to this last week. But I did want to show you, I took, I believe it was 2 strawberries to the collective, and she was very happy about that because strawberries, like plush strawberry keychains, always seem to do well. But I did have an order from a lovely friend of mine. She's actually my massage therapist. I gifted her one of these and she always gets comments on it. So she has placed an order with me for 4 of these. So I do need to make one more. And she also wants 6 mushroom keychains. And I've had a bit of a look and I couldn't really see any patterns suitable, unless I just haven't looked properly, but for plush yarn. So this is prototype 1. It's not going to be the final one, obviously. I need to have it, it's kind of coming up here too much, if you know what I mean. So I need to flatten that out. And then I really like the shape of the top, but obviously I will add more spots than what is there. I just didn't bother once I knew that I wasn't happy with this part here. So the next one I do, I will try and rectify that issue, but I'm pretty happy with the size, to be honest. I wouldn't want it any bigger, but I think that's going to be fine. And I will send her a picture before I finalize it anyway. But if I can get it looking to how I'm happy with, I might even make that a free pattern over on Instagram, but watch this space. So there's those. I also had, now this guy didn't make it to the collective because he's not really needed there yet, but there was just another little frog. Now, earlier in the week, if you follow me on Instagram, you may have already seen a little sneak peek of these guys. I had this little chicken in a nest, or yeah, chicken in a nest pattern. It's a free Instagram pattern by Amigurumi Toys, and I just thought it was so sweet. Now I decided, I have this, now I believe it's called Funshine yarn from, it's a Panda brand yarn that we can get from Big W here in Australia. It is actually so soft, and it's, as you can see, really fluffy. And I just really felt the urge to do some of the little chickens just with the little comb there in this yarn. And so then once I'd done that, I thought, well, it might be fun to do the nests in the same color. So so we've got five of the little chickens. I just gave them embroidered eyes. So all in different versions of the Funshine yarn. So we've got that one. This little guy, can't really see him from the back. you get the drift. But I just thought they were really, really cute. I like them anyway. So they will end up down at the collective, but she just doesn't need them yet. But I like them. I like them. And I think that they might sell, but I don't really know. Anyway, it's like a really, really, really quick pattern. Very easy to follow. And this yarn for me, it worked up quite similarly to the chenille that I was using, like the same size hook, which was a 5mm. So it just worked well. But anyway, if you haven't checked out that pattern, it is a fun little pattern. And as I said, it's really quick. So 5 of those. Keeping it to, so the small makes down at the collective, they seem to be the ones that like literally fly off the shelves. Now, I had this pattern for a couple of weeks now, I believe, and it is by Lubava Crochet on Etsy, and it is for these little chicks in hats. I bought, so this is one of the pattern packs. So we have the chick in a chef hat. I love this one, honestly, really, really quick and easy to make. And I just think it looks really, really sweet. The shape of the little chef's hat is great. It's really, really good. We have the chick in a traffic cone. And we have the wizard hat. So in the pattern, I think there's a colour change to green in there, I think, but I kept it black, and then I just used a little bit, I mean, it's not fantastic, but I've used a little bit of yellowy gold cotton just to embroider a little star and a little moon there onto his hat. So, and then of course the chick in a sombrero. I absolutely love it. Now they are small, and I was watching Granny by Nature, and Maddie had made these as well, and she is adding, and it's, I don't know why I didn't think of it, she is adding an extra round to the body to make it a bit bigger, and I thought that was perfect. And when I watched that, I had made this one already, and rather than do it for the other 3, I've just kept it to the original pattern because they're going to be going together. So I didn't want one to be smaller than the others. But I think if I make more moving forward, I will add an extra row to the body to make it a bit bigger. But they're really, really cute. Now, the pattern is, I have to be honest, I don't think it's fabulously written. I think that perhaps the designer, that maybe English isn't her first language, and so it's just written differently to what I'm used to. The bobble stitch is written very differently. If you've crocheted for a while, you can easily work it out, but it's just not written in a way that I really like. And I felt that there were also some mistakes in regards to colours where, yeah, it's just not, I don't think it's the most well-written pattern. Let's leave it at that. But if I'm going to continue making them, and look, they are really, really sweet. So especially if they sell, I probably will continue making them, adding an extra round. I think what I would do is maybe even rewrite the pattern myself so that it's much easier to follow. I can whiz through it quicker rather than try and work out what she's trying to say, if you know what I mean. So let's leave it at that. I did use Paddy's plush from Paddy and Bango's place for all of these chicks in all of the colours. And I used a 5mm hook and probably 10mm eyes, I believe. So they're fun. Sorry about that. They are fun. Now, after I was using this colour in the Fun Shine yarn, I just couldn't get out of my head that I needed to do a frog in that yarn. And so, meet Nigel, the fluffy and somewhat weighted frog. Now, I absolutely love him. I think he turned out really, really well. And I have to say that this yarn actually frogs well, because I tested this pattern for Ree from Crochet by Ree, and when I tested it, I can't remember if I was doing yarn under, yarn over, I'm not too sure. But anyway, for the most part, I didn't need to move the arms. When I made this Nigel the first time, the arms just seemed a little bit out and not at the right side of the body. And to be honest, I probably could still move this one a little bit, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to leave it. But what I'm trying to say is that this frogged really, really well. I thought it would get all knotted, but it actually didn't. So that was a pleasant surprise. But how sweet does he look? Honestly, just gives it that something extra. Now, I didn't have any poly pellets or whatever it is that you call them. So I did an Amazon order. These are really expensive. These are just, now the brand is Polyfill. This is only a 907 gram or 32 ounce. 32 ounce? I'm not too sure, but it's not a very big bag, I don't think. And it was $30. But I really wanted to try using some of them in a couple of my plushies, and particularly with this Nigel. So I ordered that from Amazon. It came the next day. And the other thing I ordered, which was very cost effective, is a box of these. Now they call them try-on socks. So I don't know what it's like anywhere else in the world, but in Australia, they will often have a box of those in shoe stores, and they will give you one to put on your foot. So when you want to try shoes on, you've got something on your foot rather than a barefoot, I suppose. Anyway, rather than cut up stockings, I thought that this would be a really easy way to pop the pellets in. So there are 120 in here, and it cost me $23.95. So it works out to be 19 cents, or it rounds up to 20 cents per little footlet. So I thought that was really good. So anyway, so inside Nigel, we have one of these with, I didn't weigh it. And you know, I wasn't working with a large area either. So this part of his body is probably mostly filled with poly pellets. They're not really heavy, but it's just, there is just enough weight. Oh, and I really like how he turned out. So there's that one. Now, I'm going to save my favorite make to last. I did buy more patterns during the week. I'm watching so many other YouTube videos, and it's bad news because everyone's making all these cool things, and it just makes me want to make them as well. So anyway, one of the patterns that I bought, I have been going to buy for such a long time. So if you watch Robin from Knotting Hook Crochet or Heather from Cottontail Crafts, you will see that they're often making Myrtle the Turtle. Now, I could have come up with this pattern myself, but someone's already done it, so I'd just pay her to tell me what to do, I suppose. It turned out really well. It's a nice sized little turtle. I don't know. I don't love the yarn that I used. I think, so I used the Premier Basics chenille for the body, and it's the colour Seafoam, yeah, which it's a beautiful colour. I really like it. What I don't like is these plastic clover hooks. You just get a lot of drag. So that did really slow me down. I think I really don't like the plastic hooks at all. For the shell, I do really like the shell. That was just a Millens from Spotlight. I think I made one of my drift octopuses last week in this shade. So that did turn out really well. And they go well together. But yeah, that 7mm hook, not fun at all. The eyes are just some glitter disc eyes that I've had for a really long time, and I think they look quite okay, but super easy pattern. I actually think I mucked up my stitch count somewhere. I don't know how, but I did. I also did not make the tail because you're starting with four single crochet in a magic ring, and I'm not doing that. I'm certainly not doing it with a 7mm crappy hook. So I just, when I got to there, I just did a picot stitch, I believe. And then, yeah, it's not a very big one, but I think it looks okay. So there you go. I finally did a Myrtle the Turtle. And yes, ladies, it is a good pattern. I do like it. I think I will like it even more when I find a yarn that I think works really well with it. And the thing with the Premier Basics chenille, I really like it, but it is quite flat, if that makes sense. And I would rather work with a fuller strand of yarn, if that makes sense. So anyway, I'm going to try a few different yarns and see how I go. And I think also with these small fins, you're only working up to 12 single crochet, and then you've got to fold it over. So the first one I did start making was in Zaddy Crafts, a really good chenille, and it was just, I don't know. I thought it was a little bit too hard to fold over. Anyway, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I just didn't really like it for that project. There we go. So, goodness me. Now, I have not a finished project. It is still a WIP, but I thought I would just show you my progress on my hexi cardi. So I'm getting there. I mean, obviously once you get this far, it's taking a lot longer to do a row or a row, but it's coming together, I think. So I'm on my second skein of the, what is it? Oh, it's the mandala, the Lion brand mandala cake thing. So I think I only have one more of them, so I'm potentially going to have to buy another one, I think. I don't know. It might depend on how big I decide to make it. And I will be doing cuffs on mine as well. So anyway, there we go. It is happening, albeit very slowly. Now, the last finished make, my gosh, I absolutely love it. And you would have seen it in the thumbnail, but oh my gosh, I honestly can't look at that. Oh, is it not one of the most adorable things you've ever seen? I might be a little bit biased, yes, but truly, oh my God, look at him. Oh, okay, so this is what I mean by, like, I guess being influenced. So first, Heather made it, Heather from Cottontail Crafts. Then I was watching Tiana at Oh So Stitched, and she made it. And then Ali from Ali Mackenzie Crafts made it as well. And I was like, okay, that's 3, and it was within a day or so, I had seen 3 of these guys. The pattern is Figgy by Snugglebeans Crochet. I had never made one of Shannon's patterns before, and oh my goodness, you know, I don't know what to say. I know that Heather and Robin and Sue from Crafty Sue, they make Shannon's patterns a lot, and I can see why. This is utterly adorable. I almost don't even want to sell this one. Honestly, it is so, it's cuddly, it's just adorable. So Figgy, the pattern, I almost forgot the little toes. I think, and even without the toes it was cute, but because in the pattern there's an option to do the regular body, which I did because I was playing a little bit of yarn chicken, and so I thought I'd just make the regular one, but you can make one with a slightly bigger body. And then the instructions for the toes are right at the end, and so I just missed them, and oh, but they really, really do make it. I mean, look. Now, I started this pattern originally. Oh! All right. I've just had a brief little moment here because I have some chair issues. We've lost we've lost a few screws. And that's just not my head, that's this chair. Oh wow. So if I just suddenly drop to the floor, you know why? Because these should be in this chair somewhere and they are not. So, oh my goodness. Anyway, let's try and get through this. God. All right, now originally, back to Figgy. Originally I started in this colour, in the Zaddy Crafts, and I was doing the yarn under, yarn over method, and I was using the 5mm hook, which is what I always use with my chenille, and it was really, really tight, just too tight, I think, and the head was coming out a lot smaller, and I just wasn't, I don't know, I just wasn't thrilled with it. I also didn't have a great time with the eyes, and looking back at it, I think I mucked up maybe this one because it's a bit smaller than the other one. Anyway, whatever. I scrapped it, I slept on it, and then I started afresh today, I can't even remember. Anyway, I started afresh and I decided to change to this colour, which is Honest. It's in the Zaddy Crafts range and it's called Honest. And I mean, I think the colour is awesome. I was playing Yarn Chicken, as I mentioned, and thankfully I made it, because otherwise I would have had to put it on hold and order more. So when I started it, I decided that I would do the yarn over method, and I'm really glad that I did. It's not so tight, and it's just got a little bit more give. It's bigger, and I didn't have to adjust anything in the pattern. It was fine, but truly, I mean, look at these feet and arms. This guy's weighted, so I again used one of my little sock things, and it's fairly full. I think I weighed him and he weighs probably a little bit under 300 grams. I'm sorry, I'm not sure what that is in ounces or pounds, whatever. But he's not heavy, but he's a really, really good cuddly, I don't know, I just don't even know how to explain it, but that, you know, this here is all of the pellets. Are there even different weights in the pellets? That sounds silly. Yeah, what a stupid thing to say. Anyway, he's great. He has got barely any polyfill in his body at all. It's virtually all pellets. So I honestly don't know if I'm going to be able to part with him. I really don't. So his head, you know, it's supposed to do this. He sploots. That's also really, really cute. What a pattern. I love it. And I'm definitely going to be making more. I actually really thought about making my first one in either pink or purple, but I thought no. For my first Figgy, I'll make him in green. But there will definitely be more Figgies in my future. And I was watching Tracy from Travel Crochets live this morning, and someone was talking about Elmo, I believe. Or might have been Tracy was talking about Elmo and talking about not having a good pattern. I had already thought that I think you could easily adapt this pattern to make Elmo, and I think I'm going to have a go at it because my grandson loves Elmo. Everything about the head is perfect. You would just need to make a big orange nose, which would basically be, you know, a sphere, or a sphere would work fine, I think. I would probably make the limbs a little bit longer and just do different toes, you know, give him some more fingers on the hands, and I don't know, I'm not sure what I would do on the feet yet, but either way, I think it's, yeah, very, very adaptable to make Elmo. But fantastic pattern, love the result. And at this point, I think I only bought the one, no, I think I did buy I think I also bought the pattern for a small Light Fury and Night Fury, maybe. I can't even remember whether I just kept it in my basket or whether I bought it. But anyway, I'm definitely going to make more of her patterns because, yeah, why not? Look at this. Amazing. So that is all of the finished makes. But as I said, I think in regards to what I was able to produce around my day job, I think it's awesome. So very, very happy with that. And now I do want to tell you about our crochet along that is starting today, Sunday if you're in Australia or New Zealand, I guess Saturday for most other places. But the CAL is called the Crochet Roulette 2025 CAL. It is the brainchild of Tracy from Travel Crochet. Tracy very kindly reached out to myself and 8 other YouTubers to see if we wanted to participate in this CAL. So, of course, we said yes. It's going to run for 10 weeks, and we each had to give her a colour and also a theme. And so what she has done is she's popped all of the 10 colours and the 10 themes into 2 separate spinning wheels. If you do watch Tracy, you will have already seen what the colour and theme is for this week. But I'm going to pop in a little video of what she spun up in case you haven't seen it, so you can see what we are going to be working on over the next week. So first we'll pop in the video for the colour. So here we go, spin away. I don't even know how long to talk for because I can't remember how long it's going to spin for, but either way, this week our theme is variegated yarn. So that is the yarn that you will be required to use. It can be whatever variegated, so I've got some variegated there. I've also got lots of different chenille, like Premier Basics chenille, that type of yarn that is variegated as well, but this is also variegated. So we will see. I'm also going to pop in the second little video now, which will let you know the theme that we all need to be crocheting this week. So now this theme was actually the one that I suggested. So it is, of course, Australian animals. So this week you need to create an Australian animal from variegated yarn. So we want as many people as possible to get involved. It's going to be a lot of fun. You can use the hashtag Crochet Roulette 2025. You can also send me via email your makes if you like. It's just inmysparetimecrochet@gmail.com. You can post them to my community tab, whatever you want. You can put them on Instagram with the hashtag, but if you would like me to showcase your makes, please email your photos. If I could have them no later than Sunday morning my time, that would be amazing, just to give me plenty of time to put together my video. And we really look forward to seeing everyone's creations. I am actually thinking, now don't hold me to it, but my thought at this point is that I might even design a pattern for this one. So I have a few ideas in mind, but we will see what transpires over the week. Now, the other thing I forgot to mention was that other than Tracy, so as I said, it was her brainchild, but the other amazing people that are joining me in this collaboration is Nicole from Be a Flamingo. We have Debs from Coastal Crochet UK, Kim from Crafty Chaos Emporium, Chris from The Enchanted Skein, we have Anna from Quack House Crochet, Lainey from Penny Pot Cottage, Sherilyn from Mist Lily, and Christine from What's Up Cupcake. Now, I hope I did not miss anyone there. Our chat has been going nuts. The poor ladies overseas are just, you know, it's just... they have to mute the chat because, you know, it's going off for them at all hours of the night. But it's a great bunch of ladies and we're all really excited about this CAL. So we do hope that you'll get involved. Thanks again, Tracy, for the great idea. It's just, you know, something a little bit fun. Who doesn't love a crochet along? It's only 10 weeks and then we can, you know, get on with whatever else we're doing. So, but that is probably it, I think, for this week. My chair has held up so far, but I am going to have to go and work out where these should be before I end up on the floor. But thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. If you've been able to hang in there until the end amongst the chaos, please give me a little frog emoji in honor of Figgy and his cuteness. I also think you should hang around for the bloopers because there's going to be a few today because it's been fun. Anyway, Figgy and I say bye for now and we will see you in next week's video. Don't forget to, if you would like to join in the CAL, send me your videos, use the hashtag, whatever it is you'd like to do. But until next Sunday, thanks for being here and bye for now. Hello and thank you for popping to bring you a 10... okay, let's try this again. Let's try again. There has been a couple of little teasers earlier. There has been a few teasers a few days ago. Oh my god. Instead of just going for the first stitch, instead of just going straight, I did have to move. Now, sometimes with the pattern, I think. So I pattern tested Nigel for Crochet by Ree. Oh my goodness, I'm not talking well today. Okay, let's try again. So I crocheted, oh my god, because I was paying a little bit, oh my gosh, my god, having a moment here with this blooming chair. Oh my gosh. What the hell? Oh cool. I've lost a couple of screws, guys. I don't know where they're from. Oh my butt. Seriously. Recommend it. Oh my gosh. It doesn't feel very stable. Oh my god. Oh, what is going on? Oh my god. Okay, that's not very stable. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh shoot. Okay.